Hello geometry students, so today we are going to dive further into angle relationships, and we're going to start off by looking at complementary angles. So we know the rule to complementary angles is that they add up to 90 degrees. So when asked to solve for x, or a missing angle measure in a circumstance when given complementary angles, we're going to take our angle plus the other angle given and set it equal to 90. So let's look at an example. Let's take two adjacent angles that we know are 90 because we have our little box in the angle. And our first angle given is going to be 3x. And our second one is 6x. Alright. Now we might be asked to solve for x. In order to do that, we're going to take our first angle plus our second angle and set it equal to 90. And then we just solve. So we have 3x plus 6x is equal to 9x, and that is equal to 90. And in the end, we divide by 9 to get x is equal to 10. Now, if it was asking for a missing angle measure, you would just take that x and plug it back into whichever one it is asking for. Next, we are going to look at supplementary angles. Supplementary angles, our rule is add to 180. Alright. And our equation is going to look very similar. We're going to take our first angle plus our second angle, but this time we are going to set it equal to 180. Another example, we might be given two angles. In this case, they do not have to be adjacent. Just like complementary, they didn't have to be adjacent. I just chose them to be. And maybe we were given something like 8x and 10x. And in order to solve for x, we would take our first angle, which is 8x, plus our second angle, which is 10x, and set it equal to 180. Now we solve. So we have 8x plus 10x is going to be our 18x, still equal to 180. And that means that x is equal to 10 again. Again, if you want to solve for a missing angle measure, you're just going to plug that back in. Another one very similar to this one is our linear pair, which actually has the same exact rule. We need to add up to 180 degrees. And our equation is going to be exactly the same as well. We have our angle plus our second angle is equal to 180. This doesn't change because linear pairs are supplementary. The only other thing is that the angles must be adjacent. So in this example, it might look something like this. And maybe we have something like 3x and 15x. Alright, all of these examples are very similar. So then we're just going to plug that back into our equation. So 3x plus 15x is still equal to 180. Then we're going to add those together, get 18x is equal to 180. So x is equal to 10 once again. I should probably switch up my examples a little bit more, huh? Alright, so the next three that we have are going to be very similar. For vertical angles, we know that our rule is that the angles are congruent, which congruent is just another word for equal, the same. So our equation is going to be our first angle, it's equal to our second angle. we might have an example here. We know that our vertical angles are these two angles. And we have another pair of vertical angles here, which is going to be these two. You might be given something like saying that this angle here is 2x plus 1. And this angle over here is, hold up, let me get another color. Let's go with like 3x. And from here, you solve. So now we're going to set them equal to each other. So we have 2x plus 1 is equal to 3x. So we can subtract that 2x over, and this one actually isn't that bad, and you should get that x is equal to 1. Alright, for the next one, same idea. Our angle bisector, I'm actually going to draw this example down here real quick. Our angle bisector means that we're going to create a ray that goes right through the middle and creates two congruent angles. So our rule there is, again, that our angles are congruent. And our equation is just going to be our first angle is equal to our second angle. So you would set it up exactly the same as vertical angles. And our last one that we're going to look at are congruent angles. And congruent angles has the rule right there in the name. Our angles are congruent. And just like the last two, we're going to take our first angle and set it equal to our second angle. And where you would see that is just if you were given two angles that have the same measures, and it would probably be marked with the same number of arcs. Alright, that's it.